I've been told by James, the owner, not to go too crazy with it. That is to say that he wants to keep the history of the bike very much prevalent, but for everything to be mechanically safe and sound. And I think that's a very good idea with this machine. Bearing in mind the story behind it and how much history there is with him and his grandfather, who he inherited it from. I think that'd be a great idea to try and keep this exactly the same, just clean, tidy, but most importantly safe and mechanically sound. Now, bearing in mind this is an inheritance, James has told me that this has not been started for 27 years. And whilst there has been a minimal amount of maintenance done on it, that itself was 10 years ago, and it hasn't had anything since James has owned it in order to get it running. So ultimately that's where we're going to be heading with this. A nice clean up, get it mechanically sound, and to see what happens when we very first kick this beauty over. So, while I am doing a little bit of work on here, I thought I'd give you a little bit of history about where the bike has come from, who James is, and how he came to own the bike. So, essentially, the bike is a Triton, which is a Norton featherbed frame. Depending on what year, depends on what type of frame you ended up with, but essentially it was either the featherbed or the slimline. And because they were such excellent frames, but their engines were not known for reliability, it was a common thing back in the day, as in 50s and 60s, to take the Norton lump out and put in a Triumph engine. The two engines of choice were either the Tiger 110, which is what this machine has, or the Bonneville T120. The Bonneville was a slightly more powerful engine, one more carb than this, but not quite as reliable. And the Tiger was obviously more in tune to what James's grandfather would want. So he's told me that this machine was built by his granddad. He did the engine transplant, and that was as a young lad himself. come away nice and easy. Everything looks lovely and loose. Jiggery pokery. Try and catch those pistons as they come up. Beautiful. And those gently back. Excellent. Right, protect it all now. Stop the rod smashing against those studs. I'll get some rag in there. Stop any debris or any foreign bodies going inside. Crank, you don't want that. Give us time to inspect everything. Excellent. So you may or may not be aware that James has his own YouTube channel. It's called JM on Cars, and you'll be able to get some more information about this bike and about him and his granddad and how he came to own it a bit better than I've been able to tell you. Also, you'll be able to have a look at what he does on his channel too. He's a petrol head, so you may well find it interesting. And whilst this is the first car, rather bike, that he's featured on his channel, there are plenty of cars on there, new and old. And it's a very interesting channel. So I highly recommend going to check it out. Anyway, that's enough babble from me. I'm going to crack on with this, let you enjoy the video.